Mina is angry at you. Save Fang. He quickly put his hand on Mina's shoulder and prevented her from speaking. Let's go. The leader saw the wind go dark, face panicked. Tell your men not to go. Fortunately, there were soldiers in the way. If not, our king must run to embrace his master. Our lord is gone. You two can leave for a while. Out of the crowd. Mina Limeback gripped the holy power. A little angry. These nobles are the ones who have to wind on either side. It's not shameful. He looked away laughing. You don't have to pay attention to those guys. This type of person will meet more and more. I turned to look at Mina. Took me to a pretty high place recently, a trip. I'd like to confirm something. Mina is bewildered. Oh. They both went to an empty land on the hill. In front of Somalia. You can see the whole city in front of you. The morning light shone down on the land. Became brilliant and Chan merged. Mina looked at the paper and asked closely. Master, are we going to arrange anything here? A voice you see. The west is surrounded by mountains and rivers. The road goes west into the west from the mainland. It has to go through Somalia. Go out or go in. These are all roads that must be traversed. I pointed on the map and continued. 4 princes. It's accurate to choose this place as a base. Moreover, the land has been flat recently. VI scope of the fertile territory of Pyongyang, it is very suitable for growing in large areas. Future development of the Atlantic city will definitely withdraw from the farming city. Until then, it is fitting to be the wife of the West. Mina will be back in the Atlantic. Ask them to choose a few employees to approach you. Work here. We need to get this place into shape quickly. Out. We've got to pick a few workers to do the planning. Pre-century agricultural planning. Mina gladly nodded yes. 2 people together quickly look at the landscape of Somalia. Liu Feng laughed and said, wait until next year. This place will be a glorious sight. In the land of chaos. Before that was the land of the nobles. This is Bella land. She turned her head back for an hour. An ethnic girl. He took a breath and said. Finally coming back. You go to the horseman in front. Approach a teenager with 2 horns on his head. Ask how to harvest today. Can you get barley? Here teen got off the horse landing. No. Here traders are getting smarter. I know we're stopping robbers here. So don't go this way anymore. Look Obi worried face. This has to be done. How long can the barley in the sown? Even more after the great master's reputation. More and more animals are coming here. You 2 look at it together. An animal sitting on the road. Quickly having a purple-haired teen go to front of her. Put on the shirt, jacket, let her wear a tattered undershirt. Under OB. The European said, please report to Bella first. I have one more news to report. Yes, Bella's screaming in the room. She banged her hand on the table. He has declared war on the 4 princes of the kingdom. Then why? OB replied, Bella, please calm down first. I heard that person say that the Atlantic city is still safe in. In a short time, nothing will happen. Bella bit her hand and turned around worried. No, I have to think about how to get it back. It's too dangerous. She banged her hand on the table a second time. Put your hands up and give your orders. We must bring the emperor back. If you don't listen to them, you have to be tied up. Just ignore me. She raised her hand to speak. Bella? Bella is angry and impatient. Then an answer. Suddenly, I remembered something like this. I heard in the Atlantic City. The lady seems to be holding a position. Something very important. If that is the case, bring the lady back. It gives people a sense of throwing stones into the well. It's also the relationship between us and the Atlantic. Bad. Bella hand on chin. Her eyes were so excited that she said what to do. Can an answer? Not. We have a lot of stolen goods in our hands. I don't know how to handle it. It's not the same as taking to the Atlantic. In the name of trading. And then silently passed Bella's orders. Master Cho lady to T.I. I think the princess will listen. Bella nodded. Well, that makes sense. Then just do it, O.B. You take the goods to the Atlantic. He said I have to go too. Bella nodded. O.B. stupid hard-headed, I don't rest assured. You go with as much as possible. O.B. glared his eyes at Master Bo-Lai. It seems to have been desecrated. In the capital city of the Atlantic. Inside the loud noise that comes out. This piece of material he took to the cloth factory. The person next to me picked up the document. Miss Ellie is struggling. Finished talking, and he gave Ellie another document. Miss Ellie, this market report needs you to take a look. The officers across the street looked at Ellie. Get ready to hear the assignment. Ellie picked up the report and opened it. There's a problem with the Bad Kim supermarket because of the bad guys. Then tell the police department to take care of it. Convenient. Let them show me the management books. Where is the water category report? Let me see it. There is no problem. Continue to pay attention to construction safety. The iron ore in the Aki Citadel, just as I said before. In the dock number 5. Remember to ask the police department to arrange for personnel. Nicola next door said, it's wrong here. Last week's income was more than 700 yuans. Kai Ra records yesterday. Remember to check it again. She looked at the paper in her hand, her eyes filled with wonder. What is wrong with this store? Yes, I see. You guys investigate again. Let me know what's going on. In the room, people to people go busy. Lucy went to observe the scene. In my heart, I can't help but feel, look out into the Atlantic. It can grow so quickly. Out of exile, Ra. The others are also masters. But we can gather these people together in one place. Let them show their expertise in their field. It is really bad for you to save the land. Nicola saw someone coming and raised her eyes. Your Grace, Lucy, is bored. Lucy replied awkwardly, oh, no. Nicola looked at you and said, that's right, Lucy. The Atlantic lately are preparing to push out a new product. I'm looking for someone from the aristocracy. Unfortunately in the city, except for the young Ra, they are not nobles. If your Grace, Lucy, take the princess to help December. It will help. Big story. Behind. As soon as Ellie heard the master's voice, she hurriedly turned around, rolling his eyes, baring his teeth like a professional rice-running cameraman. Lucy for an hour. Ellie behind, shouted Nicola. I'm also a princess, and why Sao didn't look for me? Nicola turned around and laughed and said, okay. Or Ellie, come with us. Been busy for a day. Let's take a break. Ellie, this side quickly run out. My face is waiting for me. Lucy wondered what it was. Nico raised his index finger and said, it's what makes women excited. Lucy's expression was dull, and she immediately thought of something. Then shyly uttered, what makes women excited? Maybe it's not you. She shyly creates her fists into fists. I really don't know how to do that. Next to Ellie and the nun. Look at the face next door. It's a question mark on my head. At the same time, the wind blew for an hour. Mina next door was worried. Is it really cold? Do I need a jacket? He scratched his horse's head and said, Someone must be talking badly behind your back. It's done. 3 people come to the living room of the Atlantic City. On Nicola's desk, raw is a piece of furniture. It looks like makeup. Save the company together. Ellie, 4 eyes surprised at strange objects. Save the company holding up a jar. She looked at the strange powder inside. This is what drives women crazy. Ellie, eyes excited. It's all new to you. She exclaimed, Oa is cosmetic. Nicola took a lipstick cover and watched. She looked at Ellie in surprise. Ellie, you know where I saw it. Ellie laughed and said she had never seen it. Nicola jerking the corners of her mouth. You don't know what these things are for. What are you excited about? Ellie hated not being able to inflate her young master. More. Whatever the young master takes out is a good thing. When I thought it was worth it. The 2 people next to him looked at the fox. Like a hot fan. Nicola holding the lipstick cover. Let's start showing the use of these things. Master said, these things can make women more beautiful. Ellie picked them up and looked suspiciously. Oh, this thing. How can we make people more beautiful? Lucy was there breathing a sigh of relief. Turns out, it makes people more beautiful than I thought. I can think of something. It's such a dark mind. Nicola turned to look at the person next to her. Lucy, sit down first. Lucy was stunned for a second. Lucy closed her eyes so Nicola could get to work. I wonder, Nicola, how does this makeup work? Nicola picked up a box of chalk. Use your clean fingers and explain. Preparation method. The young master gave it to me. Paralytic substance with beeswax. Petals, flower, vegetable oil, pearl powder. Lucy quickly opened her eyes. That's the pearl powder I'm thinking about. Nicola put her hand in front of Lucy's eyes and stopped. She nods. That's right. It's a powdered pearl. I saw Lucy Ellie's surprised face waving. You don't have to be surprised. We don't lack pearls. The princess in front of me, mouth with a bright smile, but the heart is laughing. No lack of pearls. A princess like me can't even say that. Nicola started making up for Lucy for a while. The last time she came close, Lucy laughed and said, There's also this last whipped cream. It's done. Lucy is beautiful. 2 eyes, Nicola. I looked at the work I had just painted in front of me. Ellie next to her eyes also lit up. Her tail wagged with joy. Oh, Lucy, you're more like a princess now than a princess. Lucy's hand just picked up the mirror that Nico Ladu just said, but I was a princess. The words have not been said. She saw a beautiful person in the mirror and was bewildered. A young woman in the face like Kwang and Guk, blue eyes, along with willow leaf eyebrows. It looks a little soft and sharp. Cheeks flushed with a little vitality and puffy lips. Lucy looked stupidly at herself in the mirror. This is you, remember the owner. This can definitely drive women crazy. Especially the nobles. Eli rushed to embrace the nun. She wagged her tail like a fan, begging for nuns. I want to try the nun too. Nicola laughed and said it was painted for her. Suddenly, a servant came to the notice. Miss Nicola, Miss Ellie. Lady Lucy, is returning to the city. It's coming soon. Two people, Nicola and Ellie, like crazy fans. I could almost see the two of them shining. Amazing face. It is at the gate of the Atlantic. The people shouted. Congratulations to the Lord. Mina and Izina, riding together, led the horsemen into the city gate. Above, the sky fireworks. Below, the people happy to welcome the exile. Congratulations on winning the war in Somalia. There are two strange traders in the group. The hairdresser swims and the horse turns to the guy in the hat. Even though the news was published yesterday, but did not expect the real world may not hurt. Back 2. He looked at the horse in front of him and said, "That's right, Ra must meet quickly. Liu Fong talk. It's too late to pick up any good stuff." This time the wind has returned. Mina entered the capital with Mina. He looked at the nun and Lucy at the door. Laughing about me coming back. Nicola has been standing at the door for a long time. Raise your hand and welcome back. Lucy, face makeup radiant. Congratulations on your appointment. Mina saw the sharp young woman in front of her. Looks like a flower, immediately uttered. Lucy is so beautiful. Save the wind next door also. Oh, look, it is already available cosmetics. Lucy is shy. Nicola told me to check the effect. He laughed and said, "Lucy is so beautiful to have you here. I've got a live ad." Everyone heard a call coming. Keep your eyes on the sound. And everyone's bewildered. Mina, private. I see people coming and laughing all the time. Who goes to the glittering lipstick? Dirty makeup. 2 red cheeks like snakes, 2 balls on the face. Elle's red mouth is up this bad cat. What are you laughing at? Mina couldn't help but laugh out loud. Ha 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 ha. Nicola with Lucy. I'm afraid this fox can't stand it, but bared his claws, so keep your mouth shut. Don't let me laugh out loud. Just to be the leader of the wind. He did not laugh at her, but gently came to her side. Squeeze away the flickering makeup on her cheeks. Your sun hasn't hit that, you idiot. The Lord of Heaven touched his cheek gracefully. Ella's been stupid. You are shy. Quick cough. 2 hours to calm down. Not too dramatic on the face. The news of victory after transmission. So many people came to want. Hi, there's a pile of cards on the table. Remember the noise at the door. Sigh for an hour. I've already been expanded. But I'm not going to see them for the time being. What they want, I know. But it's not easy for them to be satisfied. Ellie frowned on that Giaden thing. Keep talking to those people. Next day, I will not receive guests, but it's going to be a fashion show. Then we'll talk about working with traders. Ellie quickly nodded to understand. He looked down at Ellie and continued, which includes the right to lease fabric-making techniques. Ellie rolled her eyes wide open. Are you surprised by the blue face? Cloth-making techniques. Those people are going crazy. Liu Feng laughed, as sure as if nothing will happen. He glanced at Princess Lucy. I'm taking Zincoda back to Atlantic City. What are you going to do? Lucy was asked, a little surprised. She scratched her eyebrows and laughed and said, well, let's lock it up for now. I haven't finished thinking about what to do. He nodded his head in agreement. At the same time, outside the gates of the Atlantic, people were walking around noisy. What a sight! The busy city of OB stands alone from a distance to observe. I'm a little surprised to see this one. Why is the Atlantic so peaceful? OB is right there. Where was the war about? There's a passerby. I heard two strangers in front of me staring at me. Say things like that? He clasped his hands and stopped explaining. The war ended a long time ago. Our Lord has returned with great victory. Obi, it's over with your eyes wide open. The old man across the street shook his head dejected. From which village to? But the information is not that flexible. Two people were left behind in silence. 3 dots appear on the top. I don't know what to say. Obi looked down and asked, do we still need to get the emperor back? I haven't been able to answer yet. Suddenly, there was a loud call from the distance. D-N-O-B. Under the Chan sun. 2 animals of a southern Niu tribe. The smiling lady of the lake replied here. The lake girl enthusiastically waved hello to the Emperor Ti. Lady Lao came to embrace him tightly. I'm so excited to say, it's really 2 people. They said you 2 came to me. I can't believe I haven't seen a hug in a long time. Is everyone okay? I was suddenly hugged, helplessly crying out loud. I want you to let me go. I looked at the 2 funny girls in front of me laughing. He is very good and wants to eat something. I also want to sell something to buy food. I also want to take you. Don't let Obi finish. The Emperor was excited. Turn around and tell the police behind you. AC, take the goods to Ellie. Usually, the team wants to do business. I took my friend for a walk in the Atlantic City first. They're tired all the way out. Please help arrange a little. The police beast behind happily accepted. Don't worry, lady. We take care of our guests. A little surprised when you see people listening to God like that. Obi, asked the lady. You are in the Atlantic City. You can make someone else or something. To seriously correct Kier's distorted thinking. What makes it so hard to say right away? I just want people to help. Then she went to the gate and continued. Let's take you to the Atlantic. 3 people walk slowly, take a tour of the Atlantic City. Looking at the rice fields stretching to the foot of the mountain in the distance, lush green, people are working hard in the field. I love that there are so many fields. How much energy does it take to grow so much? The man next to me was also surprised. After a few months, there's enough food here to feed us all year. Not even a few years, right? The night echoes a tuba. For to attract the attention of the little girl. She turned out to say, high spirit filled with spirit, spirit, spirit. The West Coast has such good soldiers. Then the Kier Point sound came from the platoon. Soldiers are marching through. Elite soldiers who are well trained. The air is soaring. Again lead 2 people. They came to the proud city of the Atlantic. The bridge across the river. I can see such a big bridge. It's certainly across a long river. Obi, that's the question. Why is it so big? I am proud to say good. I was shocked at first too. Anesthetic in the head. Atlantic City is saved so good business room. Moreover, looking at the status of the Emperor here is also not awake. If so, we can actually take the little lady to Sao. Listen to the recording definitively asking, Miss, I want to ask. I can't let her finish. God said her right. You and Obi are hungry for so long, right? Let's eat before we go for another walk in the afternoon. I can't stop talking. At this time in the Atlantic City Government Office. Liu Feng is sitting carefully studying the document. Then Ellie and Mina went to the Fat Master anxiously. Your goods have been processed when they arrived. Save win surprise umbrella, so fast SAO. Ellie's face had a lot to say, looking at Mina. It's like noticing something unusual. I'm worried about you too. What happens next? Ellie handed over the carefully wrapped items in raw ass towel. Tell the young master to see for himself. Look at the vases on the table. Gina said this has to be a bit of an eye-opener. In the attic of the Atlantic City, a hearty and fragrant dining table full of dishes in the sky under the river, from fresh seafood to golden beef chicken, are meticulously processed. A delicious smell of food. I'm serious about growing chopsticks. Dear lady, I can't finish my sentence yet. He brought the food to his mouth. Can-An, try this. Go eat. Open your mouth. Take the food. The face becomes excited. Round eyes glistening enjoyment uttered. God, that's good. I'm so glad you said yes. I love this. Next to OB, he's grabbing food. The hands and mouth work non-stop, eating like a tiger through a pot of crickets. The compliment is so delicious. I'm afraid OB eats like that. The test takes a little slow eating reminder. No one fights. Eating late at night, chewing food and thinking. I can't forget the very. Just swallowed down. I was going to continue. He was interrupted by a police officer. To T.I. lady, master wants to see your friend. Take a trip to the castle. She was interrupted thinking at SAO the way I was. At Fu Than room in the Atlantic City, Liu Feng is sitting against the thinking hand said. Related to everyone's stuff. We will not accept the Atlantic City. OB suddenly said out loud. Why do we have to wear clearly so good? Dean also followed the words of the Lord. I know you volunteered for the trade. But I really want to know. At SAO Atlantic City, they can receive goods from other places. You didn't receive our goods again. He calmly explained. This time is really good. It's like the Atlantic Ocean is us. Late at night, ask Lord Liu what you mean. Ellie stood to one side now. I don't even understand why. This product is made in the Atlantic City. You take the goods of the Atlantic and sell them. Back to sell to the Atlantic City. Did you understand what I said? OB and Giant said angrily. I know. Is that this human wants to devour that cargo? What proof do you have? Prove that these things were made in the Atlantic. I am now gripping with anger. Give OB a punch. Don't be rude to the young man. Young master is not that kind of person. In my head to think yes so easy. Maybe I am in the heart of a young man. He was happy to clap his shoulder and say, You haven't seen your sister in a long time. I'll give you half a month off with your sister. Still stuttering. It's just a vacation. I feel like you misunderstand what I mean. I was in a hurry to explain to him. We didn't mean that. I can't finish the sentence yet. The real has a fever because of the Emperor's actions. I want to kiss you on the cheek right now. Liu Feng said, Master, thank you. Act carefree. The nature of the earth make the two cheeks shy. Ellie and Mina shouted angrily. You again. I can see that you act so naturally. Maybe. The relationship between this lady and this human noble. It's not normal. And then, together with Ian and OB, they returned home. Ellie sighed sadly, Harry. She put her hand on her chin. I don't know where Tit went. Nicola's hands are warming, and she's asking so fast. I've missed her. Ellie folded her hands in reply. I don't miss her. She's not here. No one's competing with me. to calm down and reassure Ellie. You're worried about her safety. Don't worry, those people are your friends. The opposite is tomorrow's fashion show. How are you getting ready? Ellie excitedly replied that everything was ready. Just waiting for tomorrow to come out. Outside the street, the people passing by are amazed. Take in the view of the Atlantic Park. This place is beautiful. Two guys are talking about the park. The Atlantic City Park just opened. It's probably not a fashion show. Yeah, the young man replied. Maybe the Lord had said before. This is a place for us to have fun and relax. It's built for us. Suddenly, two people laughed, full of appreciation. He is still a good friend to us. Save the great Lord. In the glass building, people are huddled. Pull each other in. Viscount Jenny and Viscount Gambit stood in a corner in the greenhouse. Look at the Chen people pushing each other. Viscount Jenny, take the scented towel from inside Ra. He wiped his sweat and said, this greenhouse is big, but it's too hot. Baron's exile. Why don't you make a radio like in the open city? The 8-year-old doesn't seem to care. Whatever the greenhouse is. Save Feng was not believed SAO sewing technology rental. We have not officially met the guests yet. Obviously deliberately pretending to make people curious. Viscount Jenny frowned. Even though he's trying to make us curious. There's no way. Now the initiative is not in our hands. Viscount Gam 8. Look at the Viscount sweating. If Jendi says it's too hot, take off your hat. Suddenly, the two of them fell silent into deep thought. The fabric quality in the Atlantic is very good. If really can get their fabric manufacturing techniques. Matt and Michael. It will be a big city. Feng Hoa. Right now behind the catwalk. Everyone's busy preparing for tonight's event. Ellie and Ellie are checking in. Survey around. Liu Feng said, I like it in front of the stage. Is there any problem? Eli replied, no problem, young master. Everyone has enough. I suspect. All the nobles in the Atlantic City are down there. Clothing consumption will definitely explode in a while. He was talking excitedly when suddenly Ellie frowned. His worried face continued. But the missing. We really have to teach them SAO sewing techniques. We make it ourselves and sell it. After teaching them techniques, everyone can produce. Our consumption is no longer dominant. They will compete with us. Liu Feng replied laughing, just keep creating new items. We are not afraid. It seems like the wind has a calculation in mind. You go on with my plan. I want to be the Atlantic, to become the technical center of the West. It's not the West's factory. So, it's enough to master the complete technology. Ellie admired. Surprised reply, the young master's idea is to let them work for us. It's like a costume. We buy the fabric they make. Make your clothes and sell them. That's right, he rubbed Ellie's head. Your sister is almost like that. Ellie is getting smarter. Ellie grinned red, her cheeks flushed, her eyes glistening. Ellie asked again. So, in a minute, we're meeting with the nobles to teach them techniques. That's right. Should speak before teaching engineering. I have to talk to them first. The fashion show has started. Nicola is the MC of the show. She smiled brightly and spoke. Hi everyone, we're doing a fall fashion show today. The first show was a summer outfit. The first set is comfortable clothes to wear at home. Cool short sleeve. Two models, male and model, step out in a summer outfit, eye-catching with new design lines, bringing a new wind for the fashion industry. The appearance of the female model also made the audience below sitting still. There's a lot of chatter in the audience. Oh my God, what's on the face of a female model? You are so beautiful. Your mouth is so beautiful. Bus stripping Jenny, eye letter O, mouth letter A. I can't stop wiping my sweat and thinking. It's cool to look through. I can't believe clothes can be worn like that. Or I'll buy a set. A guest thought. Save Fang, maybe it wasn't intentional to keep the temperature in the room. Heated glasses. Let's buy these clothes. The sound of nuns. The second set is the outfit that goes out. Male model, step out, pant shirt. Split hair, 7B, wearing a little sunglasses. One hand in his pocket, smiling like a Korean idol. Female models are no less. She wears a dress, close up the glass armpits and put it on the pink hair. She looks like a city hot girl. Nicole continued. Tomorrow at the Atlantic City fashion store. We'll be able to buy. Cat ears girls. Bright eyes pressing hands on cheeks. A face full of admiration. What are you wearing with the model? Why is it so beautiful? Nicola. It is always the type of cosmetics that women use. Female models use what's called makeup cosmetics. Makeup products in total, there are BA items, including eyebrow painting. Pink cheeks help users' face more beautiful. And lipstick makes lips more beautiful. Our makeup products are in rapid production. But because the equipment needs to be meticulous, rare materials, so the output is not much. Please wait. Sisters' wings glowed like flames. Two holding hands tightly to the burning atmosphere. That's great. I will definitely buy it. Limited quantity, yes. I can definitely buy it. Viscount, Jenny, and Gam 8 looked at each other without words. In the real world, you know how to make money. So many new things. But it's also clear that just follow him. They will definitely make money. When he was thinking, the 5-year-old respectfully bowed his head. Hello. Hello, 8th Viscount Jenny. The Viscount has been appointed. Invite people to negotiate technology. New fabric, according to me. The 2 Viscount answered boldly. Came to the Viscount's classroom and lifted the curtain and walked in. He looked around the room and everyone was seated. Hugging the thought. Look at this position and invite many people. Viscount Jenny and 8 grams hesitated to stand and dare not enter the seat. The wind is full, you speak up. You've all received an invitation to come here. I won't talk anymore. How do people feel about the ocean god? Viscount Jenny laughed, ha ha. Save the boys, see what you say. The Atlantic is of course beautiful. Then everyone said in unison. The Atlantic City is a city of miracles. The city is clean again. The 2 bright-eyed men laughed proudly. So people think. At SAO, the Atlantic City is growing so fast, and not everyone's city. A noble in a brown shirt. Put on the Ra's hat and speak up. This is, of course, because the Atlantic Ocean is there. Save the great leader. The Viscount sitting next to him said, My place has no resources to look at, so. The gentleman sitting next to him also said, I don't have the technology. The city can only produce some food. Reluctant enough to eat. Ellie frowned and crossed her arms. It's not even about poor people. 3 nobles standing in the shape of a dark face. We have nothing to argue about. You are all the owners of the city. The city needs money. They want to keep the city. The more money is needed. So today I'm calling everyone. I want to ask people. Do you want to make money with me?" The owners finished listening.